Hello, friends. Today we're going to read the book Rose Saves the World. Rose Saves the World. Rose was excited she was going to save the world. Her Borough School class has been learning about taking Oakland repairing the world by doing good. So they're learning about how to repair the world by doing good things to save the world. Rosie dusted off her old wagon. She was just leaving when her mother came home. Rosie, honey, can you give me a hand with the groceries? There are more in the car. I'll love to, said Rosie, but I have to go save the world in time for Operation Can Collection. So Rosie's mother is giving Rosie some cans to save the world. They gave her tuna, they gave her sweet potato, baby carrots, and they gave her some spinach. After Rosie loads all up on the wagon, she wheels it over to Frances' food bank. So she takes it to a very nice food bank, and this very nice thoughtful food bank, they collect the food, the cans, and they stock it as we see on shelves. Uh-oh. Rosie's next project was Operation Turtle Tots. She had learned it with a missive to teach others, so she decides to go to the library. So Rosie decides to go to the library to do her next mission, which is her next operation. Later that week, Rosie gets ready to sing. She starts singing to the elderly. So she goes to this nice little home and she starts singing to the people where they get taken care of, the old people. They have this little nice home for old people and they get taken care of, I think. Let's see. The next day, Rosie was in her room creating a Save the World spreadsheet. Her mother called her to her. Rosie, can you please clean out Leo's litter box? It's already starting to smell. I'll do it later, Rosie called back. I am busy planning new Save the World projects, and you just gave me the idea. Rosie's idea was to go save animals. So she went to the pet shop to visit the animals to save the animals from the world. On the way home from the animal shelter, Rosie heard crying coming from the Albert house. She knocked on the door to make sure everything was okay. An exhausted looking Mrs. Albert opened the door, bouncing her baby Louis in her arms. I just can't get him to sleep, she explained, and I have a deadline to meet for work. Say no more, said Rosie, scooping up the baby Louis in her arms. Rosie rocks Louis, gives him a bottle, and even changes him. When Louis was finally asleep, Rosie tied up the living room, and Miss Albert finished her work just in the nick of time. You're a lifesaver. Rosie saves the life again by helping Mrs. Albert with baby Louis while she works for her job. Well, actually, Rosie stormed, I have to go. And she raced out the door. Then Haya says Rosie, popping down next to her brother, who was in front of their house. Want some help with your clay drawing? Sure, said Simon. When they finished drawing the biggest dragon ever, Rosie helped Simon draw the letter Elf. Then Rosie went inside and cleaned out Leo's litter box. Sorry about that, she told Leo, painting him. It won't happen again. Next, she called her grandmother. How are you, Grandma? Asked Rosie. It's been a while since we talked. Finally, Rosie went to look for her mother. She found her in her pantry, dusting her cookie jar collection. Want some help? Asked Rosie. I'll love it, said her mother, but I thought you were busy saving the world. I am, Rosie, picking up a dust cloth by doing my massive project, yet Operation Family comes first. So Rosie said that she was doing a project to save the world, but she said that that could take some time to help her mother in the kitchen and do her housework. The end.